there anything better than a cup of tea or a cup of coffee paired with something sweet? I only have one last cookie biscuit left. It is the last one in this household and it's gonna be mine. But welcome back to another bookish vlog, my friends. In today's vlog, we will be doing all the good bookish stuff. If you have been watching these videos of mine, you already know that we will be doing some reading. We will probably visit a bookstore and just do cozy bookish things. We're well into autumn now in Greece. The weather is finally chilly. It is cool. It is, dare I say, cold. Cold for me because I am a person who gets easily cold. So my warm steaming cups of tea are extra special these days because I feel cold. Before we do the first bookish thing of this vlog, I would love to fill you in on what I'm currently reading. I am currently reading 2 books at the moment. The first book that I have been reading is on my Kindle. It is part of Kindle Unlimited and it is Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. This book is part of the War of Lost Hearts. That is the book. This is the third and final book of this trilogy and I have been really enjoying these books. I feel like they have very nice characters, the plot is very engaging, it keeps you on your toes. You just want to read chapter after chapter to see what is going to happen. At the point where I'm at now, things have started to pick back up again because there was a point of the book that I felt like it was moving a bit slow. But then again, I don't know if I should call it slow because there were parts that we really needed to read in order for the whole story to make sense. I am 35% in the book. I am currently on page 242 and this book has 716 pages, so it is a good fantasy book. We all know that fantasy books are normally thick, but the second book that I just started reading is way different. It is not fantasy. It is called Better Than the Movies by Lean Painter and I have heard really good things about this book by a couple of my favorite booktubers. I'm still very much at the beginning of the book. I'm only on chapter 2 so far. I don't know if I want to say it because I'm just at the beginning of the book, right? So I'm gonna say it, but that doesn't mean that this is how I will continue feeling about this book because I am at the start and not every good book captures us from the first few pages, and that's alright. So what I'm feeling so far is that it is low-key a little bit boring. It has to do with teenagers. They are kids that are in high school and it has to do about the boy next door. There are 2 kids, Liz and Wes. They are neighbors. They have been neighbors for forever, I think, but they're not really getting along. They're not enemies, but they're not friends either. But now apparently Liz likes and crushes on one of Wes's friends and Wes will help her to win over his friend's heart. And I'm guessing that these 2 kids will spend more time together, so Liz and Wes, and they might end up falling in love. There's already a sad part of Liz's life that makes me, feel for the girl and I feel bad for the girl. But other than that, it is low-key not keeping me interested. So it says back here Bridget Jones and Mark Darcy. Liz is obsessed with romances, with rom-com movies. But so far I'm just trying to get into the story. But we will not start this bookish vlog with reading. We will do some reading later on today. But the first thing that we will do, can anybody guess what am I about to do? Plus the books. I am about to wrap up my books because very soon I will choose my November TBR and I want to choose it blindly. I've done that once before. I think it was for September and it was so much fun. I was unwrapping the books and I was getting so excited. So that's what I'm going to do. This is the first thing that we are going to do. My book cart is not very full at the moment. Let me bring you closer so you can see. So this is the book cart situation at the moment. So up here are all of the books that I want to wrap, but down here are books that I don't want to read at the moment or books that are part of a series, and since I haven't read the first book, I cannot read the rest of them. Down here I have my current TBR and books that I have finished reading this month. But as you can tell, if I wrap up my books, I only have one line of books that I can choose for my November TBR. So I have placed an order for a few new books. They're not plenty because we all know that books are... Why am I hugging my books? Because we all know that books are expensive, so I didn't end up buying a ton of them. But at least I will have a few more to wrap up as soon as I receive them, and I will put them on the second shelf. Of course, as soon as I receive them, I will film a haul for you. And I don't know if this video is going to have only one book haul, if I will end up buying more books when I visit a bookstore. I haven't even made plans to visit a bookstore so far, but I know that within this video we will at least hit one bookstore. So this is the book cart situation. I will take this down and start wrapping them. But before I start wrapping, I need to drink a little bit of my tea and enjoy my cookie biscuit, and then I will start wrapping my books. I also low-key feel like I'm getting sick. I was at this party last night and I went outside in the middle of the night to get some fresh air, and it was kind of cold and I was not dressed well, and I feel like I am low-key getting sick. Fingers crossed that I'm not getting sick.
Call it off and don't look back. Take me off this lonely track. All my worries of yesterday, I can't seem to get away. We were golden, turning blue. I thought you could see it too. Through our hands it slipped away.
Okay, this took a good few minutes, maybe close to an hour, for me to wrap all of these books up. I mean, they're not many. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Okay, so they're all nicely wrapped now. I will put them back into my book cart. And I'm expecting the books that I have ordered online within the next couple of days, I think. So as soon as I receive them, I will wrap them up. Firstly, I will show them to you. I will give you a book haul. Then I will wrap them up, and then I'm gonna number these books because I haven't written any numbers on them yet. This is just so exciting. I really encourage you to do that as well every once in a while. I know that it is a hassle to wrap all the books up, and also I low-key feel bad about the paper that I'm wasting, so maybe I should stop wrapping them and maybe just put them backwards on my book cart and choosing blindly this way. But I feel like it's going to be a bit less fun this way. But yeah, these are all the books wrapped up now. I will put them back in the book cart, and I'm just planning on doing a little bit of reading. Honestly, I don't really feel like picking back up Better Than the Movies, but I will push through. I'm still very much at the beginning of the book, so maybe soon enough I will get into the story. I really hope so. That the colder weather is making me sick. I don't necessarily feel like I'm gonna catch a cold, but because the temperature dropped out of the blue quite a lot, at least that's what it feels like to me. Now my legs are cold, and when my legs and my feet are cold, my belly hurts, and this is the story of my life every fall and winter. Am I the only one? I brought out my second furry throw blanket. I made myself a chamomile tea, so I haven't made a lot of progress with Better Than the Movies because I was editing. I had some work to do for one of my clients, but the plan for now is to warm up, chill, and continue reading Mother of Death and Dawn on my Kindle. So I won't be reading Better Than the Movies, at least for a little while. I want to get a few chapters in, and then I will maybe resume back to Better Than the Movies. Me and Better Than the Movies, we're not vibing. By the way, they have announced that some new Kindles are being released, the 12th generation Kindles. I did do a quick research and I saw the features and everything, and I know that I recently got my Kindle, but honestly I don't regret it. I didn't see any features that made me feel like I wish I would have waited to get the 12th generation. I feel like the one that I have is working perfectly fine, and I think that there's also going to be a Kindle that will have color on the screen. But when it comes to a Kindle, I think that color on the screen doesn't make sense for me because I don't need color on my Kindle. I just want to have a black dark screen white letters, and I'm good to go. One thing about me is that I don't care about newer models when it comes to gadgets, when it comes to phones. My mobile phone is the Samsung S10 Plus and I've had it since 2019. It works perfectly fine. I don't want a new phone. I don't need a new phone. And I just feel like as a society we need to chill. There is nothing wrong to want new things and to want to upgrade your devices, but there's also no need to upgrade if we cannot afford it or if we are completely satisfied with the current device that we have. That is the way that I am, the way that I live. And it's not only because it is expensive and not sustainable, it's also because I just don't feel like I want to do that. I really do not need or want an upgraded device. Again, there is nothing wrong if you like to upgrade your devices and get newer releases and checking out upgraded devices and newer models. If you're all about that, good for you. So I think that I have been blabbing for a long time. Let's get back to reading. Good morning, friends. I am all dressed up because I will go for a coffee with my partner, but I have made a little bit of progress with Better Than the Movies. I am on chapter 6 now, but I haven't read all these pages. I have actually started listening to the audiobook as well because I feel like this is the type of book that I need to finish reading it with the help of the audiobook. Otherwise, I don't know if I will end up finishing it. I mean, I'm not gonna DNF it, but still, so far I am not invested in the story. I am a little bit more invested now, but not that much. But that is the update for now. Hopefully also later I will pick up an order that I have placed for some books, so I will soon enough also share my book haul with you. But that is the update for now. I have made a little bit of progress with Better Than the Movies. Hopefully the next time that I talk to you, I will have made a bit more progress with it and I'm good to go. Alright, so it is a couple of days later and I have a couple of reading updates. First of all, I did get sick, but today I feel like I am a little bit better, even though I will go to the doctor a little bit later, just to make sure that everything is okay. But let's start with the reading updates plus the book haul. I have received the books that I was expecting, so I want to share them with you before I wrap them up and before I film my monthly TBR video. I will film it today. I will choose my reads blindly and I couldn't be more excited about that. But let's start with the first book update. I finished reading Better Than the Movies, and this was not for me. I had high hopes for it. I liked how the book wrapped up, and I get that our main female character Liz is struggling because she has lost her mom and she has a lot of grief, and I get that, I recognize that, but she was being very unfair with a lot of her characters. Plenty of the times she was just a bit annoying for me personally. I'm so sorry if you love the book. I always feel uncomfortable talking about books that I don't like because I don't want to offend anyone. But then again, if someone wants to get offended, they will get offended even if I say good morning. So I did like the main male character, Wes. If I was in high school, I would definitely have a crush on Wes. I would definitely want to have him as my boyfriend. But all in all, the story was flat, predictable. It just didn't make me feel nostalgia about my teen years, my teenage years. I gave this book 2.75 stars, and that's all I'm gonna say about this book, because I think that before you see this vlog, I will have already uploaded my monthly research routine, and I will have already talked about that book there. So moving on. The book that I am currently reading, and I'm so excited to have finally started it, is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. At the beginning I was a bit nervous about this book because I have heard that it is heavy on the world building, and it also has like a glossary. So far I am enjoying the book a lot. We have been introduced to obviously our main female character. Her name is Rave, and she's low-key giving Selena Sardothian by Throne of Glass. She's an assassin as well. She's fighting for justice and for the good. She wants to protect the ones in need, the ones who are in pain, and I feel like she's a baddie. But it is just a very interesting concept so far. It has to do with 5 gods. How many are they? Yeah, 5 gods. And each god has a power of a different element, like fire, air, water, and then some people can control some of these elements. But there is a lot to understand and grasp in this book. So far, so good. And let's hop into my book haul, and let's start with book number 1, which is Bubble by R.F. Kuang. I have only heard the best about this book, and I just feel like this is the type of book that I'm going to enjoy. So let's read the synopsis. Oxford, 1836, the city of dreaming spires. It is the center of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart is Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, the tower from which all the power of the empire flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by a mysterious guardian, Reuben Swift thought Babel a paradise until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? This sounds bomb. It just sounds really good, and I just love this cover. How gorgeous is this cover. The second book I picked up is again a fantasy book, and it is the Book of Azrael. It is part of the Gods and Monsters series. I don't know if it is a trilogy or if it has more books, but I have heard again only the best. I know that it has been popping off for a while now. What does it say? Bonus chapter inside. Oh my god, I will have a bonus chapter. Where there are gods, there are also monsters. For 1,000 years, the Etherworld has known peace until now. Many centuries ago, desperate to save her dying sister, Diana made a deal with Caden, a monster far worse than any nightmare. Locked in servitude to him, she is forced to hunt down an ancient relic held by her most dangerous enemies, an army led by Samkiel, the world ender. After the Gods' War, Samkiel hid from everything, denying his crown and deserting his people. Now an attack on those he loves sends him back to the realm he never wished to return to, and into the sights of an enemy he had hoped to forget. This does sound good. It is book number 1. Sometimes the first book in the series will not always be bomb, but sometimes it might be exceptional. So I will just have to read and find out. Next book, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. On his 83rd birthday, Eddie, a lonely war veteran, dies in a tragic accident trying to save a little girl from a falling cart. With his final breath, he feels 2 small hands in his, and then nothing. He awakens in the afterlife when he learns that heaven is not a lush Garden of Eden, but a place where your earthly life is explained to you by 5 people who were in it. These people may have been loved ones or distant strangers, yet each of them changed your path forever. I feel like it's going to be a quick, short read, but that it's going to have a huge impact on me. And I'm also very excited about these final books. I got the entire box set, as you can tell here. I have been wanting to dive into Cassandra Clare for a hot minute now. If you are a fantasy girl, if you're into fantasy, you really need to dive into Cassandra Clare. She is, if not the best, one of the best fantasy writers. And one of my good YouTube friends, Sarah, is always hyping up these books in her videos. I know that she loves these books so much. Sarah, if you're watching, shout out to you. You convinced me to buy these books. And after that, I want to read the Last Hour series. So I will read the synopsis of the first book only, so I don't give myself any spoilers. So when Tessa Gray arrives in England during the reign of Queen Victoria, something terrifying is waiting for her in London's Downworld, where vampires, warlocks, and other supernatural folk stalk the gaslit streets. Friendless and hunted, Tessa seeks refuge refuge with the shadow hunters, a band of demon hunters. Drawn ever deeper into their world, she finds herself fascinated by and torn between two best friends. I have heard that. I have heard that from Sarah's videos, that we will have a love triangle. So this is my little book haul. I will go ahead and wrap these books up now, except for book number 2 and 3 from this trilogy.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love.
Okay friends, it is Saturday. I just made a little coffee and a little snack. I am unfortunately still sick. I thought that today I would feel better and I would go to the secondhand bookstore, but we're not claiming this energy. I will claim the energy of health. I am healthy, but sometimes, you know, being delusional is the key. But I really need to give you my thoughts on When the Moon Hatched, because I am reaching the end of the book and oh my god, I am in love with this story. I regret not starting this earlier. I thought that I would be confused. I was scared to start this. And yes, it is a bit heavy on the world building, but it is so freaking good. I love Khan. I love Rave, our two main characters. We have now started getting to know more characters that I feel like are going to play a huge role in this story. I haven't felt this way about a book since I've read Throne of Glass, since I've read Sarah J Maas, and I feel like this book is definitely giving me Sarah J Maas vibes, not because it is similar, but just the way that this book is making me feel. It is just good, you know? It doesn't feel super predictable and flat and not engaging. On the contrary, it is super engaging. It is so captivating and I'm just so into this world and into this story. It is insane. It is just so nice finding a book to obsess over, you know, and to just listen to songs that remind you of this book, and to maybe also scroll some fan art on Pinterest. I love doing that as well. And there is this song that I have been listening to non-stop, and it is called Almost to the Moon by Daisy Gray. And this song just reminds me of Rave and Khan. Do you know who you are? Into you're meant to be. What a question to ask. A couple of tea. I just love listening to this and transport to When the Moon Hatched world. Why did it have to be like this when we were almost to the moon? Why did it have to be like this? Good morning, my friends. It is a few days later and I am finally well. I am finally healthy again. I'm not sick anymore, which is great. And I have a few book updates, and also today it is finally Saturday. I don't even remember when I started filming this vlog. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago. I am filming whenever I have time. I will be honest, starting this new job has got me very tired. I will be unhauling a few books today. I will be going to the secondhand bookstore, and these are the 3 books that just gotta go. They gotta go because they need a new home. They need a new person in their lives that will love them and that will read them and that will enjoy them, because I was not the one. I was not the one for these books. Better than the movies. This was like, how much did I give it? 2.5 stars? I don't remember. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I gave this, I want to say 3 stars. And The Starless Sea, I think I gave this 2.5 or 2 stars. I don't remember, but I just was not the audience for this type of book. I will be going to this bookstore in Athens, which is called Book Garden. So if you live in Greece and you go to Book Garden, you might find these books there. But I also want to give you some reading updates, because man, do I have some really good reading updates. First of all, I think that I found one of my all-time favorite books ever, When the Moon Hatched. Why was I scared to start this? It is really good. I don't know why a lot of people are hating on this book, because I have seen a lot of reviews online and a lot of YouTube videos hating on this book. And all I have to say is I cannot relate. I cannot relate. Maybe these people are the same people who gave these books 5 stars and we're just not clicking. We're just not matching, because this is 5 stars. And this is only the first book in this series. Where do I even begin? The world building, fantastic. The magic system, incredible.
incredible. Our main characters and the side characters, they were all really good. I'm sorry about Khan. He is just up there in my book boyfriend list. Number 1 will forever be Cassian. So number 2 we have Khan. So the next couple of reading updates are the books that I am currently reading, which are Two Twisted Crowns and Metal Slinger. So I'm reading Metal Slinger on my Kindle. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and honestly I'm still at the very start of it. It does feel a bit YA. So far it is keeping me interested, and what I notice is that there is a lot happening all the time. It's just keeping us on our toes. We don't have a dull, boring moment. It is very action-packed. And Two Twisted Crowns, I am enjoying it, I am loving it, but I want to say one thing. We want Elspeth back. We want her back. I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to give any spoilers, but we want her back, okay? I am over this. These are my reading updates. I will grab my jacket, grab my bag. By the way, I will be heading out with my sister and my mom. We will also have a coffee, maybe a dessert. So it's going to be girls' day today. And of course, I am taking you along. So let's go. Right, I am finally back home. I changed into my PJ bottoms because I'm not staying in jeans inside the apartment. I had a lovely day out with my sister and my mom. I didn't end up buying anything at the secondhand bookstore. I didn't find something that I liked and that I wanted to get, but I did end up visiting another bookstore, and look what I found. I specifically went for this book. I was thinking that if I find this book, I'm getting it. And I found it. I cannot believe that I found it. It is a newer release, and I thought that maybe they wouldn't have it already. And at the start, I didn't see it. I thought that they didn't have it. And then my sister, I think she was pointing at the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and she was like, do you not have this book? I think I saw you reading it. And I was like, yes, I do. And then I saw this right next to it, and I got so excited because it was the one. It was the one book that I wanted to get today. Hopefully, I will like it more than I liked the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, because so far the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is my favorite from the Dream Harbor series. So I'm hoping that this one will be even better. But I think that I have been filming for many days, and I'm under the impression that this vlog is going to be on the longer side. I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong, but in any case I will stop filming now so I can also start filming another vlog maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So I want to thank you all so much for watching this vlog. I truly hope you enjoyed it. I love filming these videos a lot, these bookish vlogs, and I also love watching them from other people. If you have reached this part of the video, comment down below a Christmas emoji so I know who the real ones are, who are the ones who watched all the way to the end. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!